In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you what is called threads of manifestation. This is going to show you exactly how things manifest in a way that's beyond just the ego structure, beyond just the body. It's going to show you exactly how to tap into the energy of the universe so that you start to create what you want more easily than ever. Welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you that of something that is called threads of manifestation. I'm going to share with you a new model, a way for seeing the world that when you begin to see as a possibility, you will then see that things can begin to change in your life in a very powerful way. And it has to do with understanding the way that reality works. Now, here is the thing in general. If you look at your belief about reality, and you start to see reality in a new way, your notions about reality begin to change, your whole life will change, because what you experience in your life is a reflection of what you believe to be true. So if you believe that life is fixed, things just simply are the way they are, then the reality you will experience will be equal to that notion. You will go around and you will see things that are fixed. People are just the way they are. There's just these definitions that we're attached to, these positionalities, these perspectives. Things are hard, things are easy, things are this way, things are that way. And that is the reality you will experience. And you may say, people may argue, and you may say, well, no, it's easier than you think. And they're like, no, it's not. Their reality is fixed. So there's no trying to persuade them, because they will always find more evidence that says reality is fixed. Reality just is the way it is. There's just coincidence. There's no synchronicity. That is a certain belief system, and it's just as valid as any belief system. We're not here to say, oh, ours is better. Yes, we might have more awareness with ours because we're aware of the way it works. And when you're aware of the way it works, you can kind of go about it in a different way and you can kind of tweak it. But at the same time, I'm just saying to let them be, okay? They'll come around when they want to come around. The key to this, though, is knowing that our beliefs about reality itself is one of the most important factors here. Because if we believe that reality is fixed, then reality will be fixed. If we believe that things are hard to manifest, then things will be hard to manifest. If we believe that we aren't worthy of the things in our life, then we won't be worthy. So the first question I want to ask you is, what is your beliefs about this process in general? You obviously thought manifestation was in the title of this video, so at a certain level, you're into and understand some level of manifestation. So what is your beliefs about manifestation? Does it come easily? Does it come hard? How much do you have to do in order to get what you want? You see, these different perspectives that I'm sharing with you, where I'm putting your attention right now, is going to make you aware of how you relate to creating what you want in your life and aligning with the reality you want. See, most people will go, and it gets really complicated because they go into these specific beliefs and all of this different stuff, and if they believe that changing beliefs is hard, then that alone will block them. What I'm trying to do right now is, from all the details, oh, well, how do I attract a relationship like this? How do I do this with this? Bring it back to the core, and when you're in the core, see to yourself, when you look at what is your belief about manifestation in general? What is your belief about life in general? What is your belief in the models for the way you see the world? How do you see the world? Does it happen to you? Does it happen for you? Is it fixed? What is it? Because when you become aware of that, that is going to put you into this understanding of how reality can work for you. But until you become aware of those notions, or you become aware of those beliefs, it'll just remain on autopilot. You might say, well, I want to attract a relationship, I want to feel more love in my life, but if you think that at your core manifestation is hard, things aren't here for you, then it will be created ripples in that, and you won't actually experience what you want. First off, become aware of what your beliefs are. Now, here is something I found very empowering, because as I've gone through my own epiphanies in my own life, I'm going to share something with you right now that might seem a little bit radical. However, it has very much served me in my life. Now, when you go to bed at night, every night when you go to bed, you assume that you're going to sleep, that this is the real reality. This physical reality, because we interpret through our five senses and it feels very real, this is reality. However, when you go to bed at night, you think, oh, I'm having these dreams. Your subconscious mind is giving you all these different ways of interpreting things, and maybe your subconscious mind is giving you clues to certain things. But when you go to bed at night, I believe you are waking up to a higher level of consciousness. Now, your brain might not understand this whole understanding of you being at a higher level of consciousness, so it gives you these symbolic dreams, it gives you these metaphors, these things from your past that you're looking at. That might be the way that you understand it, interpret it using your mind. But when you go to bed at night, you are actually awake in a higher state of consciousness. You just don't remember. Because if you remembered every morning when you woke up that you are really unconditional love and bliss, that you live in a realm that is so magical, and you came here, you wouldn't want to be here as much. But also, your brain just doesn't have the reference experiences to understand it. When you go to bed at night, you are awake in higher levels of consciousness that it's hard for you to even imagine now. So in essence, reality itself, even though we experience it through the five senses, the difference is we experience a consistency through the five senses, so it appears to be real. We have this dimension of time and space, this experience of time, linear time. So we say, well, no, this is real because every morning I wake up and it appears to be the same thing as the day before, so this must be real. This is just a long, consistent dream. This is a long, consistent dream. Now pay attention to how you feel when I say that, because part of your ego might be like, oh, that makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable because what is real? The ego wants the certainty of what is real. However, this is the truth about manifestation. The more you realize that life is a dream, the more dream-like your life will become. I'm going to say that one more time. The more that you realize that life itself is a form of dream, the more dream-like your life will become. This is when you begin to tap into a level of consciousness and a state of awareness where things become much more flexible. Because remember, if you think things are solid, you think things are very fixed, things will be fixed in your life, and it'll be hard for you to do things because the ego has to do everything. There is this thought that everything is fixed and everything is very solid. That is just from the perspective of the ego. That's just like things are the way they are. That's being identified with form. When you realize that life itself is a form of dream, things will become more dreamlike because you will then know that things are more flexible. Everything is based on interpretation. Everything is based on belief. So right now, when I'm explaining these ideas to you, you will see that it's about your belief about it. If you believe that reality is fixed, things are hard, manifestation is hard, then reality will also be hard. Reality will also be fixed. And you will have to, from the ego's perspective, do everything. Your ego doesn't have to do everything. That's when we're going to be getting right now into that of the threads of manifestation. Now, looking at this whole process, you can then start to ask yourself, what is life? Well, life is a reflection of what you believe to be true. You will always experience in life a reflection of the vibration you have, of how you are feeling, thinking, and acting. When you look at these three things, that's how you can then change your reality. However, what is your beliefs about that process in general? Is it that it's hard? That's what I am trying to show you in the direction of. The point is, life is a form of dream. And it's a very fun dream. It is meant to be something that we love to experience. It's meant to be something that we acquire a whole bunch of information from. You are a divine being. You exist in higher states of consciousness as unconditional love, bliss, joy. That's who you really are. We're simply having this dream of separation. We look around, we say, this is my physical body, this is everyone else. But at a deeper consciousness level, we're all connected. We are all one. And the key is understanding that we're just having this dream of separation. And when we have this dream, we can see that sometimes in certain parts of our dream, we may have said and made certain roles between us and other people. There may have been, okay, I'm going to come into this dream, you're going to play this person. You're going to be someone I actually dislike. And you're going to be in my family, so I'm going to have to really deal with you. Or it could be, we're going to get together and we're going to do this type of thing. And there's certain lessons, certain things we can learn. There is a higher dimension to this that we may not see from the ego's perspective. But the only time this seems improbable is when we are viewing it from the ego's perspective of wanting the certainty. No, I don't understand. I don't understand. Go beyond the ego. The threads of manifestation I'm about to share with you goes beyond that. It goes into a higher level of consciousness. Now, start to see that life is more of a dream. It's meant to be fun. It's meant to be something that you you really relish, something that you really experience, that you allow yourself to become aware of. It's kind of like a game at the same time, because when you become aware of your beliefs, you can then change your beliefs. But if you aren't aware of your beliefs, then it will always remain the same. So, threads of manifestation. Had to lay that groundwork, because you have to understand kind of the notions about it before you can get into the threads. Threads of manifestation. When we look at our life, there's an energy grid around the whole entire planet. There's an energy grid around our body. Heart Math Institute has shown this. It goes far beyond our body. And our thoughts, our emotions are embedded within this energy field. When we don't deal with something, it stays as a disturbance within our energy field. Once we complete it and integrate it, that's when it begins to go away. If you complete your past, you do not repeat your past. I have the most powerful meditation I've ever created, is a meditation on feeling worthy and completing the past. And if you want, I'll be in the top of the description box below. I'll remind you at the end of this video as well. However, when we look at this process, let's understand that there's these patterns around us. That even though our ego thinks, oh, this is my body, this is all there is, and then there's inside my body, that's it. There's an energy field that goes around our body. In the same way, there's an energy field that goes around the planet. And it goes also around every single individual person. So we got all these energy fields walking around. And sometimes what happens is we walk into different thoughts, different emotions. We think that thoughts aren't things. We think that thoughts are just this imaginary thing. Thoughts are things, literally. We might not see them, they may be invisible to the eye spectrum, but when we think thoughts, there's an energy, there's an energetic component, and there's a level of physicality to it that we may not actually see with our eyes, but that is still there. It can still actually exist in time and space itself. And that's why sometimes when you're on the road and someone cuts you off, you might get mad, you might say, oh, they shouldn't have done that, but you might also be linking up and going into the thought forms of many other people on that same road that have been cut off as well. So you're linking up and kind of carrying around, and you attach yourself, not knowing it, by aligning and resonating with those thoughts. You then latch them onto you, and you have and are, in a way, getting into those threads of manifestation. Imagine it, there's all these individual threads around the planet. And what happens is as we walk through, we are, in a way, clinging to different thoughts if we resonate with it. If we don't resonate with it, it does not cling to us. It can only resonate with it if we are the vibration of it. So if you exist in a higher state of emotion, a higher state of consciousness, it won't affect you so much. But there is a physicality to these thoughts that goes beyond what we can normally think. Thoughts are actually things. So when we look at threads of manifestation, we can see that we can become aware of the collective consciousness. When you are around other people, the other people you're around, you are tuning like a tuning fork to their vibration if you are unaware of it. And if you are thinking of their thoughts and you are agreeing with them, that's when we begin to literally become like the people we're around the most. They say that you are the average of the 5 people you're around the most. That's actually true, because you then start to resonate at the same vibration of them. And with that vibration is how they think, they feel, they act, the habits they have. You start to naturally acquire those. So being aware of them, you then start to move yourself into a place to where you can then choose, do I want to be like this person? Do I want to be like this and do these type of activities? You can start to become much more aware of it. Now, the thing with these threads of manifestation is this is what I really want to share with you. First off, be aware of your thoughts. Be aware of when you go places. Are you having your thoughts, or are you having the thoughts of that collective of what's happening there? For example, you might go to a court, do something at court with the city hall or something, and there might be very negative energy there. There may be, and you go there and you may feel, why am I here, all of this stuff. You may actually be attaching to it, when instead, if you were just to be at your own cause and just feel good regardless, you might not attach to it. But when you go, if you go to a sports game and a team loses and you agree with that, you might feel the rush of energy of being angry about it, more angry than normal, because you're around other people that are feeling the same way. These are these threads of manifestation that are all the way around. Now, certain people that have had patterns of success, and if you study their patterns of success, you can also duplicate their patterns of success. Now, in general, I like to be more original. So you can look at that, you can follow the footsteps of someone else, but you can also create your own pattern. You can create your own pattern. Let other people copy other people. That's fine, but create your own pattern. I think it's more authentic, and it's more like you're creating your own pendulum. You're creating your own energy flow. And being different sometimes is your biggest key to these threads of manifestation, because when you're different, you then stand out than all these other people. So be aware of that and simply decide that you are going to go beyond what you priorly thought about reality. You're going to realize it's more dreamlike than you thought before. Now, when we come to these threads of manifestation, when you tap into a larger consciousness other than just you realize there's a cosmic mind at play. You realize that you are part of the whole. You are both the drop in the ocean and the ocean in the drop. That's when things begin to change. Because then you can influence all these threads of manifestation by allowing yourself to become a part of something that is more divine. When you give up your ego's desires and you give up the attachment to the outcome, to the higher mind can move more through these threads of manifestation, and that can start to work for you. For example, if you're like, I have to do something, I have to go do this in order to get this result, it's very linear and it's very limiting because there's this and then this result. However, if you give it up to your higher mind and you simply trust the process and you're in that state of being that you want to be in, the threads of manifestation that go throughout the whole planet, around the whole planet, it can go through more avenues. There are more ways that what you want can happen. But it's about connecting to this core of who you are, of understanding this unconditional love and bliss that you naturally are. You always get in reality a reflection of your vibration. So the key to this is vibrating at a high frequency. And as you vibrate at a high frequency, you give up and you surrender your desires from your ego self to your higher self. And then you trust the process. You see what happens. You pay attention to it. I'm not saying it doesn't mean you don't have to take any action. I'm saying that when you get to this high frequency of feeling whole and complete, of being aware of how your beliefs create your reality, of letting go of what doesn't serve you anymore, when you're in this higher state of consciousness, that's when there's more threads that can come to you. It's almost like the universe wants to manifest for you. Now, in order to tap into the energy of the universe, what I have found to be the most powerful is adding value to other people, because other people are also a version of you. The more good you put out into the world, the more good comes back to you. It's just the way it works. And when you have an intention of adding value to the whole wants to add value to you. So these threads of manifestation, most people are trying to manifest things just from their ego. They're trying to manifest things from what they want, their ego wants, and therefore they stay within this little energy bubble. They only have so much power from the individual I, the little I ego's perspective, the little e. When you expand outside of that, you then see that you become a part of this whole consciousness, because as you help the consciousness of the planet wants to help you. As you help the universe, because you're helping individual people, that also comes back to you. There's different ways you can do that. Just simply having the intention to add value to the people that you're around. Doesn't mean you have to get on YouTube and make videos like me. However, I found that having the intention to add value to other people and having this more higher consciousness, this higher purpose, has really helped me to tap into more threads, because then those threads will pull to me more things because I'm putting out more things. We get in life a reflection of what we put out as well. If we're putting out negativity, negativity comes back. If we're putting out value to other people, the value comes back to us. It's just the way it works. But when we're in the little ego, we can only create so much. My intention for you with this video is realize that in that little ego, in your beliefs about it, it keeps you in this little perspective. Expand out to understanding that reality is much more than you priorly thought. That you are not just the drop in the ocean, you are also the ocean in the drop. Surrender it to your higher mind. Trust that there's more threads of manifestation to come through you. It will literally come through different people. There were things that will happen to you that will come through different events. When you trust the higher mind, and when you have those kind of perspectives, when you get outside of the little ego and you start to connect to more of this divine connection that you naturally are. You start to exist in states of higher motion, of love, of peace, of understanding that, and dropping the things that no longer serve. That's how you begin to make a shift in consciousness from this to this. So like I mentioned at the beginning, if you want to complete the patterns of your past and get out of this little ego self and get into a higher state so that you don't repeat your past, if you don't complete your past, you repeat your past, I have the most powerful meditation. Just read the comments to see how powerful it is. I recommend you listen to it for 21 days to get the maximum benefit out of it. It's going to be in the top of the description box below. And other than that, I'm also going to be doing more live Q&As on Instagram, so if you want to ask me questions, if you want to interact with me, I also post twice a day videos there as well, native videos to Instagram. You can follow me right here. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the little notification here. The way YouTube does it is you actually have to hit that button to see the daily vids. And other than that, as always, peace, much love, and namaste.